All right, guys. We got a show for you today. We have Luke McEldon. He goes to Oak Hill Academy. He has offers from Texas A&M, Old Dominion, Hofstra, and Central Arkansas. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I want to talk a little about your high school journey because before I had you come on a bit, there's a bunch of different schools that showed you're with. You were with like St. Stephen's, Bishop Walsh, if I'm correct, and then now you're at Oak Hill. What was that like, and what made Oak Hill like that school you wanted to stay at and go to?
Well, everyone knows about Oak Hill, and then everyone knows that it's a really good basketball school and how good Coach Smith is. And a lot of it was, so I was a Bishop Walsh last year before I went to Oak Hill, and then I was planning on reclassing to the class of 2023. So then I wasn't sure where I was going to go, and then Oak Hill, they had reached out to me, and then to me it was like a no-brainer, and it seemed like it was a great fit for me, and how good everything was with the basketball, and how it would get me prepared for college and everything, which was great.
Yeah, talk about that. A lot of teams didn't get to have a season, or they did, but not many games. Oak Hill, you guys got to play a lot of games. Been some very good competition. What was it like? Getting to play against some of those teams.
It was great. I loved going around the U.S. and playing against like different people like Jalen Duran and like what's his name, Caleb Love and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was great playing against all those great players, and then it helped me get prepared for AAU.
Yeah, which I want to talk about the AAU in a bit, but one thing I wanted to ask, when you're going to a school like Oak Hill, there's a lot of like learning curves because the coaching and everything. What do you think's the biggest learning curve that you had to like overcome or working on?
I would say a lot of it was in the beginning for me. It was the screens, like because like everywhere, you know how every different team like they do screens differently. Like it would be icing and stuff like that. I would say in the beginning, I'd say that was the biggest because I was used to doing something completely different. But it started getting better like towards the middle of the year when we started going to the season, and I
Yeah.
got a lot.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome, like recognize something like that. So, for you, how'd you get into basketball yourself? Did you play other sports growing up, or has it always been basketball? What was that like for you?
So I was born in England. So when I was in England, I didn't really even know what basketball was. I just played tennis and soccer, and that was it. And then when I came and moved to America, it was my fourth grade teacher who introduced me to basketball. And then, like, ever since watching him play and everything, that just made me fall in love with the game. And then I've been playing it ever since.
No, yeah, it's awesome. My roommate is from Britain. I played tennis in college. So that's pretty funny to hear that. Hoping to get over to Wimbledon
Yeah.
fairly soon. You know, for basketball, you talked about being from England stuff. Is that something you think about a lot? Like playing down the line, for England stuff because with the FIBAs and stuff, they haven't had a lot of players that have played beyond a certain level. Is that ever on your mind?
Yeah, that would be great to play with the English national team. In fact, I talked to them earlier on today to the U17 coach, and then so we're gonna try and talk, and then hopefully I'll be able to play with them in the future.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It just got me thinking, with the Olympics and watching, some of these teams. Like you see, like Luka taking someone like Slovenia. That hasn't ever happened for their country. So that's why I was going to ask for that. So growing up, did you look up to any like current or former players, or not really as much?
I would say the two main people it was Michael Jordan and then Shaq. A lot for Shaq for me. I just love the way he played the game and how dominant he was in the post, and I love seeing when he like broke backboards and broke the
Yeah.
rims. That was just amazing to me.
Yeah, no, he's great. I love him. Um, you know, you talked about the AAU circuit. I was reading something on 24/7. You're starting to get some buzz and stuff with basketball, and they said like you're a guy who should be on a lot of players' radars. You just picked up a huge offer from Texas A&M. Congratulations, first off. And what's it like playing when team loaded, and what has made like this summer very good for you?
Being with Team Loaded is great. They're a great organization. My coaches, they're really good. Like Coach Ward and Coach Brandon, they were really good to me, and especially the team. we were a really good we were a really good team together. Like we had some really good guards, and we also had another good center, Carter. And we started playing with each other in the same like so we would start, and then that helped a lot. So like we do like a kind of twin towers thing, and
Yeah.
like it'd be me and him, and then like we'll do a lot of high low action and stuff like that, and that was great.
Yeah. So, we talk about, you just picking up your first offer, how is the recruiting process going for you, right now? With the great, AAU circuit you just put on.
It was great. It's really taken off. I've been getting recruited by a lot of schools, and I've been talking to a lot like Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, Stanford, and then some others.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We always, ask people, they normally have some funny stories with it. What was it like for you when you got your first offer? What were you doing? Everything.
It was in Oak Hill, and then so Oak Hill's in the middle of nowhere, right? And then so since it's in the middle of nowhere, the service is really bad. So I remember when they were trying to call me, my signal wasn't working, and I was freaking out a bit. I was like, oh no, the college coach is calling me, and then my thing's not working. But eventually it worked, and then I was talking to them, and then I remember I got so happy when I got my first stuff. I wanted to start jumping up and down. It was great.
Yeah, you're telling me there's no service in the mouth of Washington, Virginia.
Yeah.
um, so with COVID and everything, it was hard. You guys didn't get to play as much, and that did affect recruiting a lot. How did you deal with all that free time? Was there something you were working on? Was it weight room? What were you doing?
To me, it really helped me a lot because that helped me get ready, especially for Oak Hill and everything. I started running a lot outside in my house, like in my area, and then I was playing basketball a lot on my own because I just got a hoop outside my house, and then I was practicing there with my coach, and that helped. It was great.
Yeah, was that a reason why you decided to reclass, 2023, or what was the big reason behind that?
The big reason, yeah, it was all because of COVID. Because I was thinking, um, like that would have kind of messed it up because I was getting recruited a little bit, but it wasn't by too many schools.
Yeah.
But then I reclassed, and I'm already young as well because I'm 16 still. So
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. A lot of 21s do the same thing because I never got to visit any schools, meet coaches. But before I committed, it was really weird time committing to a school without actually being there. So it's very hard. Um, so when you're as a player, you talk about the twin towers. You kind of built. What do you value like most in a teammate and someone you want to play for?
I was in the team I play for. I would love to have a good coach and like everyone has a good relationship to where I can be able to talk to anyone, and then like we can help each other get better as well. Like I would like my teammate to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, but at the same time, like not be yelling at me like if I do something wrong, but like be like, oh, fix it this way, and that helps a lot.
Yeah. Over the course of your whole career, this could be, back in fourth grade, this could be now. What do you think's the best basketball play you ever made?
Um, I would say probably Jalen Duran on Montverde. It
Yeah.
was probably him.
Okay. So in your free time when you're not on the court, what do you like to do?
I would say I like to like hang out with my friends. I like to play video games, and then I used to like to make movies and stuff like that. And
No,
then
yeah, that's
yeah,
that's sick. My one
yeah.
friend, he made a couple of those, but that's funny. That's sick. Someone who's never seen you play, right? How would you describe your game to him?
I would say I run the floor as hard as possible, and I try to grab every rebound, offensively and defensively. And I would say I have a soft touch near the rim, to where I can like score all around the rim.
Yeah. We talked about the learning curve. Like right now, after this AAU circuit, what's like the biggest thing you want to work on? Get ready for college, and beyond.
I would say a lot of my athleticism. I want to get a lot more. I want to build a lot more muscle before I get into college, so I could prepare me for the physicality in college, and I feel like that would help a lot.
No, yeah, it's crazy. I'm starting to get into it, and it's like it's a lot more work, and you gotta be ready, man. Um,
Yeah.
The final three questions always finish off. Over the course of your whole career, what's the best piece of advice you ever heard?
I would say just remember what you're doing it for, and like you can't just quit no matter what, because like if you start something, yeah, just don't quit it.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people have that. When you're playing, basketball, do you ever know when it's like your night? You're like, yeah, I feel good. I'm gonna play really well, or is it just kind of come as the game progresses?
Usually I'd say sometimes I feel that way, like in warm-ups, like because I started like listening to music before my game, and like I have a whole routine, and then I just started doing it recently, and that's been helping a lot, and like that helps me get in my head, and I'm like, oh, I already know I'm gonna play well, and
Yeah.
that just
What are you listening to?
usually like Money Ma, Polo G, and then usually them, yeah,
Yeah, no, it's Polo G had his album was good. I like Clueless. I'm a big Pop Smoke guy personally.
yeah.
But all right, so this is the final question. It's always the hardest. We always finish off with it. So when your basketball career is over, right? How do you want people to remember yourself?
I remember I would say I want people to remember me as a great person, like someone who would love to help others before I help myself. Like, yeah, I just want to be able to help other people and like inspire others to be to like do stuff. Like, I remember like looking up to so many people. Like when I was watching them play basketball, I would love for people to look the same way I did upon other people when I was younger.
Yeah, well, Luke, thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad you're on. I know my roommate's pumped. He's always pumped when I get some people from England on. So thanks for coming on, man. It means a lot.
Thank you for having me.